I got the job to work on Man of Steel through auditioning. I had to come in for an audition process with Damon Carl and his crew and perform a little fight for them. And then they asked me if I would think I could gain weight, because I'm typically a small guy. And so I had to prove to them that I could gain the weight once they thought that I could be a good fit for the role.
And how much weight did you have to put on if you had to work with Henry?
Right, so to be Superman, he's a big guy. So in order to fulfill that role, I had to gain 20 to 25 pounds of muscle. So in order to do that, I'd wake up 4:30 in the morning, do a bodybuilding routine, and eat more food than I ever have. But I was able to put on the weight so that I could be his double.
And once you got going with it, I'm guessing the stunt work was just every day, right? So what can you tell us about that?
We started doing the stunts right away. They had actually been working on the stunts before I even got on as Henry's double, and they developed and choreographed a lot of the fight scenes. So with that being in place, I was able to they plugged me in to the roles of Superman, and we were able to test the stunts and continue to test them.
And what kind of stunts are we talking about? I mean, you know, you did flying scenes. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, like you said, and the stunts in Superman included a lot of wire work. There was some hand-to-hand combat. We did a little bit of water work, and that was the majority of it. It was fighting and wires.
And the kind of schedule we're talking about is what, like 15 hours a day?
Yeah, when you're rehearsing, it starts as few as 8 hours, typically around 10 to 12. And then when you're on set, it can go from anywhere from 10 to 16 plus hours.
Was Henry hesitant to do some of these stunt scenes at all?
Henry is like a stuntman. He is gung-ho, and he attacked every stunt head-on, had no problem with it at all. We would set it up, work out all the kinks, make sure the stunt worked right, put him in the wires. He would get the stunt, rehearse it, and do great, and be able to perform it on film.
And you mentioned that you worked underwater, so what can you tell us about that kind of training? What went into that?
So another section of the film is Henry gets blasted by the oil tanker and is underwater. So in order to do that, we had to get scuba certified to get comfortable underwater. So we would go underwater with our air breathers, and then when the shot came up, you'd take it out and Henry would lay there like he's passed out underwater for them to get that shot. And it was a great process to do that. He had no problem with that at all. He was also very comfortable in the water.
He's from an island.
That's right. That's right.
And you did the oil rig scene. And Henry mentioned during a recent interview, that was kind of hairy doing that.
On the boat?
On the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, part of it is being on a real crabbing boat that they use. And they have the big crab pots. You're in this crazy amount of water and waves that are just splashing, knocking the boat. You have to hold on to something to stand. You can't just stand on the boat. So that was quite the experience, but it was real. That was no green screen, no wires. That was the real deal there, and definitely feel it. And if you're not comfortable in the water, you do get sick. And I did experience that firsthand, but it was a very cool process.
Now, tell us a little bit about why you have the experience you have. You own a business in LA, and you're about to open a second one, so tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so my background is in parkour and free running. I was able to come to LA with the idea of being a stuntman and also opening up a gym for free running. And I was able to do that, and it was allowed me to train, continue my stunts, and combine them together. And it's been an amazing process. As you've never seen any chase scenes or anything, it's usually parkour and free running. And that's really adapted me as a stuntman to sort of attack anything and modify my body to do the best for it. Like an obstacle course is how we train. So stunts the same way. You're faced with a stunt in the wire, you're able to adapt your body to move through that so it looks correct.
And you got to wear the Superman suit during Man of Steel. So how exciting was that?
Wearing the suit is a childhood dream. You always play around with a towel around your neck, pretending you're Superman, and to actually be able to put on the legit suit that is Superman with the S and everything and the cape, again, it's a surreal feeling that every kid that I knew wanted to have and be, and I felt so honored and blessed to have that opportunity.
Yeah, and Henry mentioned that people would act differently when they would see him in the suit. Was it the same experience for you?
It is the same. You kind of get the little oh, you get the wonders of look like, wow, that looks like, he looks like Superman. Like that really looks like the real deal. They expect you to fly away or have the superpower. It was very cool.
Now, when you worked on Man of Steel, it was you also worked on Twilight. So
Yes.
what can you tell us? What was the difference between working on two big films, but was there any difference?
Yeah, so like you said, I worked on Twilight before and on Superman, Man of Steel. Actually, they were very similar in the sense that they both required a lot of wire work. Being a vampire, you also have superhuman strength, so you are flying and jumping. In order to do that, you use a lot of wires. Same thing with Superman. In order to jump and fly, a lot of it is on wires as well. So it was actually a good crossover, a good experience.
And any stunt pranks on set that you can tell us about? Was there any funny moments?
Yeah, on set, I was trying to think of anything that we had. Unfortunately, nothing is coming to mind other than just having Zack Snyder as the director. He is such a funny guy and like a little bit of class clown. He's the one that would throw anything. I don't think anything specific, but he is one of those directors that just makes everybody feel good and is always throwing jokes, making you laugh, and is one of my favorite people.
Now, fans want to know, is there any actor you'd have a beer with?
Any actor I'd have a beer with? Well, Henry. I had some beers with Henry, for sure. And it was, again, he is a man's man. He is the down-to-earth, easygoing guy that you can talk to. So that was a really cool experience to be able to get to know him a little bit and share some time off away from set.
And now, Man of Steel 2, do you think you'll get to work on that?
Man of Steel 2 would be amazing. I would love to work with the crew again, Zach and Henry and Damon and all the people involved with the film. I haven't got a call, but if I did, I would definitely say yes.